We just saw Porzingis' early exit. How could Coach Rick Carlisle's reaction actually help Dallas in Game 2?
Yeah, Randy, classic misdirection by Carlisle. He's one of the few championship-experienced head coaches down in Orlando, and while everyone was expecting him to blow up and go after the refs for their decision to run KP to the showers early, he actually defended that decision and then kind of on the backside of his comments said, you know, those 11 turnovers that Luka had, you know, some of those were from fouling and being held and bumped. And, you know, I'm willing to bet that that'll be cleared up a little bit into Game 2. I mean, this is savvy coaching move. You don't want to show up the refs, but you also want to plant the seed to try to get things to go in your favor as the series moves on.
You go from a title-winning coach in Carlisle who's taking a page out of Phil Jackson and using the media to mention some of those things. All right, we can't let you go without talking about the Lakers here, where the offense has struggled since the restart. We have some video to prove it. Those problems continuing on Tuesday. Let's start beyond the arc. LA made just 2 of its 16 attempts when its closest defender was at least 6 feet away. That's open. It's also tied for the 3rd worst playoff shooting performance among teams to attempt at least 15 wide open threes since Second Spectrum began tracking that in 2013-14, but it gets even worse for the Lakers when looking at their transition offense. LA shot just 7 for 26 when getting out on the break in Game 1. 19 missed shots in transition, the most by any team in a regular season or playoff game since 2013-2014. Listen, over the last few months in this pandemic situation, some people are doing the puzzle thing or the hobby thing. The Lakers decided to do the forget how to shoot a basketball thing. 20% on jump shots on Tuesday. It's the 3rd worst in a game this season per Second Spectrum. All 4 of their worst jump shooting games this season have actually come since the restart. So we ask you, Dave McMenamin, in that bubble, you heard everything the Lakers had to say about this particular loss. What's been the reaction you've heard to the poor shooting specifically in Game 1?
Yeah, when a team goes 5 for 32 from 3 and they're staring at the prospect of falling down 0-2 when they were the favored team, there's going to be major changes considered. And I've had a couple coaches and scouts around the league say, hey, if the Lakers need shooting, why not just look to their bench? What about Quinn Cook, who had a game in the seeding round where he went off and hit 5 threes? What about J.R. Smith, who has hit big playoff threes alongside LeBron James for the history of his career, and Dion Waiters, who actually was getting consistent playing time in the seeding round and then only got 1 minute late in the first half of Game 1. Now, it would mean you're going to have to sacrifice maybe KCP minutes, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, or Alex Caruso. But guess what? You got to do something when you had the 2nd worst 3-point shooting performance in the history of the NFL and the NBA playoffs in Game 1.
There may not be a panacea on that Lakers bench. They turn right around and play Game 2 tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. We'll see what adjustments are made, if any. That's Dave McMenamin with the latest from Orlando.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.